Hi everybody. I thought this might be a more efficient way to go through the syllabus with you, and that way you can watch this video and kind of follow along on the PDF of the syllabus when it's convenient for you and we don't take class time out of our precious 1 hour a week to go through the syllabus. The syllabus is important, but it doesn't, need to take up our time in our live sessions. So let me go through it with you and I'll stop and point out some of the important features. The whole thing is important, but you can read, and I know that you'll read through it, so I'm just going to hit the highlights. My contact information is here, letter of introduction. I know many of you already, many of you I don't, but this is my 28th year teaching in Weslaco, and this is my 20th at Weslaco East. I was with the group that opened the school at the very beginning when Weslaco East first opened. So I've been around for a while. There's a course description here about the independent study course, which is a unique course. It isn't something that we've had for a really long time, but mainly we designed this course when we realized that we would have some students who were coming to us as freshmen, but already having had English 1. So that left them at the end of their senior year without an English class to take, and some people were concerned about that. They wanted to make sure that they had, the support of an English class when they were working on their college admissions, essays, and getting ready for college, preparing for ACT. And not only that, but continuing to read and write and research at a high level so that they were prepared for college. So we designed this class with that in mind. So when I designed the class, I mainly thought that we would focus on 4 things. And so there are 4 main strands to this course. The first one is advanced reading, writing, and vocabulary study. Also, I will be helping you to make a plan for yourself to prepare for any college admissions tests prep that you need to do. TSI, ACT, SAT, SAT subjects. We'll be working one-on-one, you and I, to come up with a plan that's workable so that you can get the scores that you need for the colleges and the programs that you're interested in applying for. Also, there'll be some research involved in this class. We'll be doing research projects, and also I'll be helping you with the college and scholarship application process. So this is an elective class. This is not a required class. And I think I should also point out, I probably did this on the first day, but independent study in English is weighted the same as a pre-AP course. So this is not the type of course where you come in and have free time. This isn't the type of course where you, when we're meeting face-to-face, this isn't the type of course where, the assignments don't count and aren't important. This class weighs for GPA rank, and there's not an excessive amount of work, but it is a class, even though it's an elective, that I'm expecting you to work through the assignments, most of which you get to customize for yourself. We'll talk about that more as we go through class, but there's a great deal of student choice in this class. There's some classroom expectations. I think those are different right now than they are when we're face-to-face. Right now we're hoping to be face-to-face again, or at least have that option at the end of September. I don't know if how that's going to play out, but some of you may choose to stay virtual all year, and others of you may choose to have hybrid and come to school. But I put my classroom expectations in general here. I don't have issues with students. I don't have discipline problems generally, as long as you're acting like a young adult and focusing on class. And being proactive about looking after your assignments and making sure that you're on top of things, we generally don't have issues. Make sure you're checking your grades frequently. You will be conferencing with me very frequently in this class, at least once a month or once 6 weeks, because I'll be checking with you on how you're doing on those elements that we were talking about in the last section: the college application process, testing, and research. So we'll always be touching base one-on-one. We'll have a lot of conferences about that. You will need to have a notebook that's dedicated to this course. Online notebooks are fine. I'm not going to collect your notebook, but there will be things where I'll ask you to take notes. You'll be taking some notes this first week over our first deep dive topic. So I want to make sure that you have a place that's dedicated to that. And obviously you need to have online capability. We will be using a Google Calendar as a requirement for this class, but also I put that in as a week 1 activity to set that up, and I gave you some tutorials and things on your assignment that will help you to set up your Google Calendar the way that it needs to be set up for this class. You will share your URL of your calendar with me so that I can check it. I check them randomly to make sure that they are up to date. Grading procedures, obviously I'm going to follow the school grading procedure with major things at 40%, minor things at 60%. This class not tend to generate a lot of assignments. It doesn't necessarily follow the 10 assignments per 6 weeks or 8 rule, because mainly we're spending time working on research and longer projects. So sometimes I might put in a grade that's sort of like a progress grade. How is it going with your project? You might not have your project done, it might not be due for another, month, but how's it going right now? And so there'll be a grade for that point in time. You make your own timelines, so all I'll be doing is checking to make sure that you're meeting your own timelines that you set up for yourself on your projects. Major assessments are things like, your research papers, your deep dive projects, things like that. There are a few minor things that I'll have you do periodically in class, and those will be worth 60%. This class will not have quizzes or tests. There will not be a semester exam test that you have to sit for. There will be a grade for the semester exam, but what I tend to do with this class is average the semester together and just include that average as the semester exam. But there won't be quizzes or tests for this class. It's a different kind of class. So there'll be some things that I'll be evaluating myself, and there'll be some things that you will be collaborating with me on your grade for. So we'll sit down before you do a project. You'll talk to me about what you want to do for your project. We'll set up a timeline. Pretty much you'll name the timeline. You'll also tell me what are the criteria that would make it a good project, a good grade. And so when we're looking at it, we'll be grading it together, looking at those criteria that we set out before you even started the project. I know that's a little bit different, but I'll guide you through that process when we work on some projects. So tutoring times, right now they have the schedule set up with virtual learning so that from 2:45 until 4, all the teachers are available, so you can communicate with me. I have a Google Voice number. I think most students find it easiest to text me questions that way. If there's something that you're working on and we need to hop on a Zoom real quick, I have a Zoom room that they give me just for that purpose. So if you message me on my Google Voice number, I provided that to you somewhere. It's also in the Google Classroom. Then we can communicate that way. If we're on campus, then usually I'm at school by 7:30, so you can pop in before school. And I usually stay after school until 4:30 or 5 every single day. So tutoring time's kind of different depending on whether we're at school or in virtual space, but I'm available and I'm pretty quick to respond with email and messages and things like that. So please, communicate with me and make sure that we're, on the same page with things as we go through class. Next page, I probably went through this with you on the first day of class just to give an overview of the course. Sometimes students take this class and they know all about what we're going to be doing. Other students are sort of, maybe vague about that. So there are 4 main elements of this course. I've mentioned them a little bit, but on this part of the syllabus, there's a little more depth about that. Test prep, if you're getting ready to take the ACT or retake the ACT, if there's parts of the TSI that you still need to do, etc., then I will be here to help you make a study plan to reach your goals for those tests. I'll also be helping you through the college admissions and scholarship application process. Admissions happen in the fall, scholarships mainly happen in the spring, but I will be asking for you to submit to me evidence that you've done your applications, where you are in your process. We'll be conferencing about that. So I'll be kind of holding you to that quite a bit throughout the year. We'll also be working on college reading, writing, and vocabulary study through some articles that I'll have you read. And you will also have a personal focus area. So every 6 weeks, or about every 6 weeks, we have a deep dive topic that the class looks at in general, and then you choose a topic within that general topic that you're interested in pursuing and creating a project out of. So the first one that you'll see on the first week's assignment is education reform. So as a class, we'll do some research, we'll do some looking into what is education reform, what are the things that need to be reformed, what are the things that you think are the most important things that need to be improved, and then I'll walk you through the steps of proposing a project that deals with that area of interest. After that in the syllabus is just the state objectives for this course. This is a state mandated course, so there are objectives, but they're pretty general and mainly focused on research. So we'll be doing a lot of research. Also, there's some objectives here for preparing for the college process. So I'm here to support you through your advanced research, reading and writing skills, and also on into the pursuit of college and making sure that you're getting into your programs and doing everything that it takes to move to the next stage. So that's it for the syllabus. If you have questions or there's something that wasn't clear, probably at the next class period, live synchronous time, I will go over that with you, ask you if there's any questions about the syllabus that you're wondering. Do go back and read through it. I went through a quick overview, but read through the syllabus, and that way if there are any questions I can address them in the next class period. So I'll see you then.